Hello and welcome to this week's Nesson.com Patriots video mailbag. I'm Doug Kyed. If you have a question for me, tweet it to me at Doug Kyed using the hashtag MailDoug, and I will answer it either here or in my weekly Nesson.com written mailbag. Let's start off here with Anthony, who asks simply, Stidham or Newton? For the 2020 season, I believe that Cam Newton has the best chance to be the Patriots starting quarterback. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Newton will be the Patriots starter this year. I do think it's possible that it could be Jarrett Stidham. I think it's even possible that Brian Hoyer could get a start or two in there. I don't think it's possible that Brian Lewerke could be the Patriots starting quarterback, but I do think that ultimately Cam Newton is the favorite based on what he's done in his NFL career. Obviously, it's a shortened offseason. It's going to be tough for him to acclimate as quickly as he's going to have to, given everything that's going on, no preseason, 2 weeks of training camp, but he's a mobile quarterback. I think that he should be able to acclimate relatively quickly. I think the Patriots should be able to simplify their offense a little bit by having Cam Newton in there. Second question related to that, Xander asks, do you think the Patriots keep Cam Newton for the next 2 to 3 years, or do you think they let him go after this season? Ultimately, I think this is going to be a one-year deal between the Patriots and Cam Newton. He is signed for 1 year, but the Patriots could franchise him after this year, or they could extend his contract. I could even potentially see them franchising him and then potentially trading him next year. But I do still think that Jarrett Stidham is the future starter for the Patriots. The Patriots did not sign Cam Newton until late June, so they were certainly willing to go into this year with either Stidham or Hoyer as their starting quarterback. I think that they'll like the cost effectiveness of having someone as cheap as Stidham as their starting quarterback if they still believe next year that he could be the guy. Final question here comes from Queen Shy, who asks, what rookie Patriot do you think will have the best season? That's very difficult, but with all of the opt-outs that we've seen, the free agents leaving, everything, a lot of these guys will have an opportunity to play a big role in the 2020 season. Both tight ends, Devin Asiasi and Dalton Keene. Safety Kyle Duggar could wind up being a starter with Patrick Chung out. Josh Uche could wind up being a starter with Dante Hightower out. Some of the offensive linemen like Michael Onwenu or Justin Herron could take a big step this season. But I'm going to say Anthony Jennings, the outside linebacker out of Alabama. I just thought that he was the most pro-ready guy the Patriots took in the draft. So while he might not have as direct path to a role in 2020, I could just see him being that day one guy who can step right onto the field and contribute right away. I think that certainly the guys that I mentioned, Josh Uche could have a big season, Kyle Duggar, Devin Aussie, Dalton Keene, but all of those guys are a little bit more projections or project players, whereas I think the Patriots should know what they have in Jennings right away, so I think that he should be able to contribute then right away.